I'm Mitzi Ziegner, and I'm the instructor for HDFS 3306 Child and Adolescent Guidance in the Department of Human Development and Family Studies. The classroom simulation activity is an activity that I plan just to differentiate once and for all the difference between developmentally appropriate and developmentally inappropriate practice. So for the purposes of this activity, the students experience two different teachers. One is Mrs. Dip, who is Mrs. Developmentally Inappropriate Practice, and one is Mrs. Dapp, who is Miss Developmentally Appropriate Practice. The activities planned are open-ended on the Mrs. Dapp side, very focused on choice, and the teacher is really a part of the learning environment down on the student's level, making encouraging statements about what they're doing. On the Miss Dip side, I really make a conscious effort to stand up the whole time, kind of talking over them, down to them. Everything has to be done in a certain regimented way. There is no room for choice. The day of the activity, we just number 1, 2, 1, 2, and the ones or the twos, depending on the semester. One set of numbers will be in Mrs. Dip's class and one set will be in Mrs. Dapp's class. So I have them line up outside of the room. Before coming in, I set the room up. The activities are similar, but the experience that they have couldn't be more different.
Are you one? Okay, so you'll go right over here. Yes, okay, go. Have a seat. Okay.
Just no welcome, no nothing.
The other team came in and she's all like nice to them, giving high fives.
High five. I'm happy you're here. Welcome.
Really cheerful, and we were all like, why don't we get that side?
I'm sorry, who left this mess in the small group area?
She's just like really sharp and always standing up like straight and looking down on us.
Is that a broken crayon? Okay, I just can't believe that. Okay, friends, it's time to move to our next activity.
It was really fun. She interacted with us a lot. She gave us a lot of choices. She would get down on our level whenever she would talk to us, which made it feel like we were equal with her.
I heard some, positive feedback.
A dinosaur eating pizza. Wow, that's a creative combo, isn't it? How are the resters? Oh.
It is so pretty. What are you drawing? Can we help, this student decide on what to draw? And it was just fun. Whereas on Miss Dip's side, she was like, what is this? Why did you do that? Swans aren't yellow, just so rude.
Have you ever seen a yellow swan? Has anyone? Okay, hand me that, please. Hand me that, please. No. That's one thing I did forget to mention, but I figured that people would understand what the expectation is. We don't want to color any animal or anything a different color than it actually is. Okay, so you're going to need to start over. Trey, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in you. Okay.
So from that lesson, I really, really appreciated it because there are teachers that are like that, and you find them more often than ever.
It's really just phenomenal learning about kids, and not even just kids. I mean, we learned so much about just life in general. I mean, you walk away from the class like it was like an hour-long TED Talk, and you're just like mind is blown. And you have to take Mrs. Ziegner's class.
She is so motivating and she is so sweet in the stories that she brings to class. Some of them are really touching and some of them are just eye-openers. A lot of the things that she has discussed in class with us, and like a lot of the stories that she tells, I can relate to because I work with foster children. And there's been certain things that she talks about in class that I actually take to work with me, and I apply it to my work. So she's very inspirational. She really is. Like for students who want to be teachers, she's a great role model.
I used to try to have both sides of the room, get to have both experiences, but then I realized, in a real world setting, a student doesn't have that opportunity to get to choose between an appropriate or an inappropriate learning environment. Whatever they are placed in at the beginning of that school year, they're stuck in that environment. It really does affect how students feel about themselves. So unfortunately, as over the top as some of the interactions seem on the Mrs. Dip side, I'm not so sure that those aren't pretty realistic things that are happening. At the end, I have them work with someone who had the opposite teacher, and they do a T-chart, and they write feeling words, 1 to 2 word phrases that say how they felt in the environment. When you see that respected versus disrespected, valued versus ignored, afraid versus excited, you know, that sharp contrast is so important. And then I always ask them, what environment would you want your own child, a child that you care about, to be in? And it's such an easy choice. We hope that they feel special in their home environment, but as in my years of experience as a classroom teacher, I know that some children don't feel very valued in their home environment. So it's all the more important that they treat everyone as that they always are a Mr. or a Mrs. Dapp in their real world interactions with students, again, to generate that lasting impression, because of course I want them to be successful while they're here and to make the grade that they hope to receive. But what's far more important to me is that they carry this knowledge and information with them long after, because it will enrich them as parents, as adults who interact with children in their own lives, and then of course as professionals as well. And the bottom line is, this is a profession that's so important. If you're choosing to work with children and adolescents and families, we don't have the option of getting it wrong.